it has occurred to me that even though I am a Sailor Moon blogger and a big chunk of my vlogs are Sailor Moon based, I have not yet touched these Viz Media dubs, because I still live in the early 2000s and I haven't graduated into the 20-teens. I only have them on DVD. I don't Blu-ray yet. So this is what the packages look like, and something that I like that I just realized now is that Usagi is like in a similar stance to Princess Serenity on the back, which is cute. So I kind of want to talk about what I think of the Viz dub, because obviously we all know what the Japanese sounds like, and it's fantastic, and it's the classic, but they did their own dub, and they made it easy for us to own it. And what I really like is that they didn't like force their dub on us, you know, like you can choose the Japanese audio or the Viz dub. So if you don't like the dub, you can just listen to the Japanese one, and then you have an official Sailor Moon release. So by buying these, you're supporting Sailor Moon and not buying bootlegs. Like, there are 7 million bootlegs on eBay. I have one of the bootleg box sets, but now that they're coming out official, I'm going to buy them officially. So here's the thing. Everybody knows how much I do adore the original dub and how much I adore that whole world. And I really don't let that influence my opinion on this dub, because I see them as separate entities, you know? Like, the original dub changed so much, and some of the changes were good and some were not good. But because so much is different, it is almost a different storyline than this one, which is more of a verbatim translation, you know? If there is one thing the original dub did well, honestly, in my opinion, is they sound like they're talking. You know, like, of course nobody uses words like nutsoid and negadweeb and stuff like that. Well, totally cool, Ames, like that sort of thing. Nobody actually talks like that. But the thing is that the voice actors in the original dub were so amazingly fantastic at their job that you really believe that they're talking like that. I feel like I'm listening to friends of mine talking. Like, it sounds so natural, it's so fantastic. And a lot of my issues with more modern dubs is that it doesn't really sound natural. You know, everything is so over enunciated, and the script is just a little wordier so that it's almost awkward sometimes, you know? Like, maybe they don't have the crazy 90s ridiculous slang, but they have too many words. Like, they're saying it is instead of it's. Like, a 14-year-old girl is not going to say it is unless she's specifically trying to emphasize it. She's going to say it's. So stuff like that, you know what I mean? So generally speaking, that's my issue with modern dubs as a whole, is that they sound too voice acted. Everything is kind of robotic sometimes, and they sound like they're talking like this. And so I do feel like this dub is kind of like that, and that would be the main thing that I don't like with the Viz dub, is that's how I feel about it. But I feel that way about a lot of dubs, so yeah. So specifically talking about the voice cast, I cannot rave enough about how amazing the Shitenu are in the Viz dub. Oh my goodness, nobody could have cast that better. Nobody. Todd Haberkorn as Jedi, I always talk about this, and people probably think I'm weird at this point, but Todd Haberkorn is such a good Jedi.
The joys of life are short-lived and its ordeals many, but that's not your concern since your lives end today.
And it's unfortunate because I like Todd Haberkorn, and I met him, and he seemed like a cool guy, and I don't know, I just really like him, and Jedi is such a piece of garbage. Todd Haberkorn as Jedi makes me wish that Jedi doesn't die so early, because even if he was being a misogynistic douche the whole time, I still want to hear it, because he does a good job. I really like the Nephrite, too.
The stars above govern the fate of every human, defining the destiny for each of them.
Zoisite is so cool, because the actor that plays Zoisite, I can't remember his name, but he does a fantastic job. Zoisite is still supposed to be a little more, like, feminine and a little more, like, outrageous. The rest of them are all kind of, like, macho guys, and especially Kunzite, you know? And so Zoisite's supposed to be a little bit more fluttery, and the actor just does such a good job at doing that, and wow, I cannot rave about how much the Shitenu are amazing enough. Those are, like, my favorite voices in the new dub. No contest.
We now possess all the rainbow crystals, and we've got Mamoru as well. If we can destroy the Sailor Guardians while they're here.
That would be our revenge for that cut cheek of yours.
So as we move up kind of in importance, Queen Beryl is played by Cindy Robinson.
You must defeat Sailor Moon and the others before they cause any more trouble. Or else it's the sentence of eternal sleep.
She does a really good job too. Like, I really like her, don't get me wrong, but I just wish she sounded a little more evil, you know? I love Queen Beryl, and I love the sort of tragic backstory that goes with Queen Beryl, but I love the idea of, like, red-haired Queen of the Dark Kingdom Queen Beryl having this, like, gravelly, angry, evil voice. That being said, I really do think that Cindy does a fantastic job as Queen Beryl anyway, and I really have no complaints. One of the biggest misses as far as voice acting goes in the Viz Media dub is Shingo.
Why is there a cat in my room? Stay away!
I really don't know why Shingo is the way he is. It's just unfortunate because Shingo is supposed to be Usagi's little brother. Shingo just sounds so old, and I think I've kind of noticed that that's everybody's opinion when we watch the Viz dub, is that Shingo is the least favorite of the voices. So I feel less bad about saying that because it's a little more of a shared opinion. Naru and Umino both have really, really good voices. Umino is like really, really, really silly, but I think it suits Umino. I feel like Umino would put on a character voice, you know, because it definitely sounds like a guy going like, but I think Umino would do that. I think it suits him, and Naru does a fantastic job too. So I really like those two as well. I really, really, really love Johnny as Artemis. That's another fantastic casting choice.
While it is nice that all of you finally met, I need you to realize we're in the middle of an important investigation here.
I don't know what it is. He manages to keep sort of that like cool guy sounding thing that original dub Artemis has, but he sounds a little more in charge and just better. I've seen a couple of like Johnny the voice actor's roles, and I definitely think that Artemis is actually one of my favorite jobs that he's done because it just he suits it. He is Artemis, even though Artemis is a cat and he's a human. He just does a really fantastic job. Unfortunately, I can't love Michelle Ruff as Luna. I just can't. I'm sorry. I just feel like Luna's supposed to be like in charge and sound so like she's the boss. Not saying that she's supposed to sound old. She's not supposed to sound old, but I feel like at times Michelle Ruff kind of sounds generic. That sounds so mean. I feel so mean about saying that, but she kind of just sounds like a female, you know? And with a cast that's so female heavy, to have voices that kind of sound similar, they all kind of mish together, and I'm like, wait, who's talking? Hold on.
Don't worry, they don't even notice you. Besides, your crushes are like bubbles. They only last a moment.
And that would be my only complaint there. So really all I've complained about so far is the way the dialogue's written, which is the biggest one, and not liking Shingo, and thinking that Michelle Ruff is not right all the time for Luna. So really, I mean, I'm a fan. Really, I'm a fan of the Viz dub, so don't think I'm not. It's just like, there's little things. There's always going to be little things, though. Nothing's going to ever be perfect to everyone, you know? So moving on to our lovely main cast. Robby Damon is perfect for Mamoru, especially for like a direct translation of the original work, because he's perfect. If you want to talk about the original dub, he is like everything that people liked about Vincent and everything that everybody loves about Toby, because everybody loves Toby. It's them put together, and he's perfect. And what my favorite thing about Robby as Mamoru is that Robby likes Sailor Moon. He's watched Sailor Moon before. If you watch him talk at panels about Sailor Moon, he watched it in college, like with his friends. And that to me really matters, because that means he's looking at Mamoru, voice acting Mamoru, and he knows what he's doing, you know what I mean? And so I think I would honestly, like 100% think that Robby Damon is probably one of my favorite points in all of the Viz dub. He is perfect Mamoru, and I hope he sticks around for the whole 5 seasons, and Crystal and the movies. I hope he's always Mamoru, and I feel like he will be.
It's got to do with my past. Huh? If I have all those rainbow crystals, they'll help me find the legendary silver crystal. Then I can figure out my past once and for all.
Cherami Lei, she is Minako, I know. What I really like about Cherami, again, it's more of a personal thing, but you see her talking panels and stuff, and she's mentioned that when she got cast as Sailor Venus, she went out and bought codename Sailor V and read it, so she knows Minako's backstory.
I'm not, but like all of you, I'm a guardian dedicated to protecting the princess.
And I think she really understands that Minako is supposed to be the leader, so she makes it sound like she's in charge, and I think, she does such a good job. I love Cherami as Minako, really, I do. And then Kate Higgins is our dearest Sailor Mercury, and I like her. I really do. That's another case kind of similar to Luna, where she just kind of sounds like other girls, you know what I mean? It's kind of not a very definitive, this is her voice kind of voice, but it's still good and it's cute, and I think that's kind of a good thing for Amy.
I told you, now is not the time to be arguing.
Oh, right, sorry.
We still have an important mission to fulfill, so we can't afford to lose here.
I feel like maybe Kate, the actress, is the least into this whole Sailor Moon thing out of all of them, and I really hope she gets into it. You see all of them, and they're, wearing Sailor Moon merch and, doing their hair like the characters, and I feel like she's the least likely to do that. But I hope she gets into it. I really do. Cristina V is fantastic for Sailor Mars because she likes Sailor Mars, you know? Like, I've seen her post pictures on Twitter of her as Sailor Mars when she was younger. So I really think that her liking Sailor Mars makes it better because it's almost like I want to live vicariously through her. I really feel like Cristina V falls subject to the awkward phrasing a lot. Like, it's not her fault, but it's like awkward dialogue writing. I don't think it's her fault. You know what I mean? But sometimes it sounds weird, but I think her voice is really good for Sailor Mars. And she kind of reminds me of Katie Griffin, who played Sailor Mars in the original dub. She kind of sounds similar, so it fits, you know? And that's the kind of voice that goes for Sailor Mars.
If that's the case, no more holding back! Fire!
I specifically left Amanda Miller for the end of the inners because it warms my heart to see somebody who is like a big Sailor Moon fangirl and is like part of the internet nerdness Sailor Moon fandom become a Sailor Senshi. You know what I mean? And Sailor Jupiter is her favorite, and I actually got to talk to her before about her love for Sailor Jupiter. And so to see somebody who loves Sailor Jupiter so much get to be Sailor Jupiter, and it just absolutely, it makes me so happy. And even if we lived in some alternate universe and she sounded like shit, I would still be happy because she loves it so much. But we live in this universe and she has a fantastic voice for Sailor Jupiter. It's like she's sort of Susan Romany, but it's different. And you know, it's that kind of like deeper voice, but it suits Makoto because she's so much taller and she's like kind of more of a tomboy. And wow, I don't even know what to say. Like, I love her as Sailor Jupiter, and I wish her all the best as Sailor Jupiter. And she's another scenario like Robby that I hope she gets to be Sailor Jupiter for the whole of everything. Like, I hope she doesn't leave for any reason. Although I don't think Amanda Miller would leave. I think they could be like, here, you can star in this Hollywood movie, or continue to be Sailor Jupiter. I would like to think that she would stick with Sailor Jupiter. I would.
Jupiter, my guardian planet, bring forth the storm, summon the clouds, and bring down your thunder! Supreme Thunder! We'll force our way in. Come on.
I've been really, really trying to figure out a way to say this, but I think other than Shingo, the only casting choice that I wish was maybe different is Stephanie Sheh as Usagi.
Hi, I'm Usagi Tsukino, and I'm a 14-year-old middle school student. I'm a bit of a klutz. And some people might say I'm a little emotional.
I don't know. I can't get into it. I was hoping by the time I was done, like, both things, I would be able to get it, but I still can't. You know what I mean? I feel like she's definitely better at the end than she is in the beginning. Like, maybe she gets into Usagi a little bit more, but I can't help it. To me, it sounds like somebody trying to voice act a 14-year-old. You know what I mean? It sounds like she's trying. And hopefully, again, maybe as it continues, she'll get more into it. But until then, I can't. It's unfortunate that the main role is my least favorite voice, because Shingo has like 2 episodes about him and then he doesn't matter, but that's so unfortunate. And you know what? She seems like a very, very nice person, so I don't, it's nothing against her, it's just I don't necessarily know if I agree with her as Usagi. But again, like I said, maybe I'll like it better later, but as of now, and still having seen all of season 1, I'm not a huge fan. I'm so sorry. But anyway, that was all I really wanted to say. I went through, like, all the cast. Yeah, so there's really only the 2 that I don't like, and I'm not always a fan of Luna, but other than that, I think they did a good job, and I think what they're doing, like, what they're doing with bringing the anime back and selling it, you know, legally, and remastering it and everything, I think it's so fantastic. I wish there were more bonus features on these. Like, there's nothing. I was so excited for, like, fun stuff, but they have highlights on both discs from that, like, one convention, and that's it. That's, like, all the special features. Like, come on, I wanted more than that. I'm really interested, actually, to hear what you think. Anybody watching this video, whether you agree with me or whether you disagree with me, please let me know. I'm actually really interested, so you can either comment on Tumblr or comment on YouTube or comment anywhere. and just kind of like, let's talk about it. I want to know what you think, having seen however much of the Viz dub that you've seen. And yeah, I would just love to hear someone else's opinion, because for the most part, everybody that I've talked to about the Viz dub kind of feels the same way that I do about it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!